Like and subscribe on the way in the door. My people, heavy on the like, heavy on the subscribe, please. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today. Today, on this Monday, I want to talk about something that gets brought up as far as it concerns, what if Michael Jordan was playing in this modern NBA era? And the thing that seems to get repeated over and over again is, well, first of all, is questioning his three-point ability and, whether he would be able to do it or not. And I guess before we get started down this path, first of all, I want to say this. Michael Jordan was not a bad three-point shooter. Matter of fact, for the time that he was in, he was just an average three-point shooter. But more importantly than that, his average three-point shooting percentage really came more so from the 90s. Because before then, Michael Jordan just wasn't shooting a lot of three-point shots. He slowly began to take them more and more as the 90s progressed. And, again, we all know this stuff. At least, people who actually know anything about basketball, know anything about the Jordan era. We all know this stuff. And then the second thing is obviously whether he could shoot them or not. Michael Jordan was a workaholic. So if shooting threes was the thing to do, Michael Jordan would become one of the better three-point shooters in the league. I would almost say it's unquestionable. Obviously, it's all hypothetical. But yeah, I feel like for those who, again, watch Jordan, know anything about Jordan, we all know that it is no doubt that if shooting 3 points was a requirement, Michael Jordan will become one of the better three-point shooters the league has. But I want to throw this out there. I really don't understand why people keep saying Michael Jordan would need to shoot threes in this era. It makes no sense. There's the same amount of games are the same amount of time that they've always been. There's more points available. The game is faster paced. But there's been eras in basketball where the game has been faster paced in the 60s and the 70s, in the 80s some. But in the 60s, I think it was a time where the game was actually faster paced than it is now. And, there wasn't three-pointers back then. So, when people say MJ would need to learn to shoot threes as if he couldn't, or have to get better at threes, I don't get it. To me, why would he need to be any better than he already was at three-point shooter? MJ was scoring 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 points just fine with two-pointers. It makes no sense to me. I was watching Club Number One Fanboy, and it had Mark Jackson on there. And this is during the time when Shannon Sharp was asking all the guests, or at least all the basketball guests, how much do you think MJ would score in today's era? And Mark Jackson said something to the effect that MJ would score whatever he wanted to. And Shannon Sharp goes, you think he'd get to 40? And Mark Jackson was like, yes, no question. No question. And Shannon Sharp was like, 40? How is he going to get to 40? He going to have to add the three ball. Somebody help me. Somebody explain to me why that makes sense. Why does Jordan need 3 pointers in today's era to average 40 points? It makes no sense. He had a season averaging 37 when he wasn't shooting threes. And it's more possessions today. It's more points going around because the game is faster paced. So that means he is going to have more possessions. So, again, he's had multiple 50-point games. He's had 60-point games in an era where the defense was much tougher. So why does it make sense that he would need to shoot a three to average 40 points a game in this era where you can't touch him? Again, Michael Jordan's mid-range is unstoppable. Michael Jordan's first step and his multiple ways to finish. His pump fakes. Like in today's era, you're going to have to react just like they did back then, fanboys. Just like a defender back then would have to react to every single thing Michael Jordan does. They're going to have to do the same thing today. Any pump fake, any fake step, you will have to react to everything that Michael Jordan does, which is what leaves you vulnerable. Except in today's era, he's not going to have any resistance when he gets to the rim. In today's era, because you can't touch him, he's going to be able to create more space on shots. Like this whole narrative of needing to shoot three-pointers to be successful in today's era, that makes no sense. Matter of fact, I would say a lot of these teams, they just live and die by the three. When we talk about LeBron James being one of the most inconsistent superstars, but in addition to that, the NBA itself is just in its most inconsistent state. Because the most inconsistent shot has been pushed to the forefront. The further shot away from the basket has been pushed to the forefront because of some analytic stuff. But that's why there's no consistency. That's why 1 minute you see a team and they'll destroy another team, and then the next minute they get destroyed because they live and die by the three. Whereas I would argue that if a team comes along and really gets back to more of an inside-out game, I bet that team would be a lot more consistent. That would be one of the better teams in the league. Because the more consistent shot is closer to the basket. And I know the analytics have done all these percentages, and if you take this many threes and the percentages and it adds up, but the bottom line is the only person who's efficient like that is Steph Curry. And he's got everybody chucking up threes who shouldn't be chucking up threes. But again, that's kind of diverting from my original point. But yeah, I would really like to understand why someone thinks Michael Jordan would need to shoot three-pointers in this era when he has every other skill in his bag. I mean, who could guard Michael Jordan in today's era where you can't touch him? Because, here's the thing, and I'm going to say this too. As much as they try to praise these players for being more athletic and whatnot, again, they're probably more athletic on average. But just because you're more athletic on average doesn't take away from the fact that MJ is arguably the most athletic basketball player that we've ever had. Again, probably him and Wilt Chamberlain. But I didn't get to see Wilt. Who stand in front of MJ in today's era? MJ ran a what, 4.43 or something? Who stand in front of MJ? Who is not going for every single fake that he throws their way in today's era? But anyway, we gonna hold up here. Like I said, that's just something that's kind of been, every time I hear somebody say that, oh, well, he gonna have to improve on threes. I'm like, why? There's the same amount of Same amount of time on the clock today as it was in the 90s. It's 4 quarters, same amount of time on the clock. And he has seasons averaging 35, 37. Career averages 30 points a game. Multiple 40-point games. Multiple 50-point games. 60-point games. And you think in today's era where you can't touch him, that somehow he's going to need to shoot 3-pointers to average 40, 45, 50 points. That makes no sense to me. But anyway, we're going to hold up here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that Michael Jordan will have to develop a better 3-point shot to fit into today's era? Do you think he would need a 3-point shot at all to play in today's era? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.